Sound security practice dictates that information security requirements should be embedded into each stage of the employment lifecycle. It needs to specify security-related actions required during the induction of each individual, the employee's ongoing management, and the termination of his or her employment. Human resource security encompasses all security aspects involving four processes, including hiring new employees, training employees, monitoring employees' behavior, and handling employees' departure and termination. Especially, it is important to manage personnel with privileged user access to information and IT assets. It is also important for executive management to understand that cybersecurity is not exclusively a technical challenge to be relegated to the work of IT and security professionals. Cybersecurity is similar to health and safety considerations, where the action of each employee affects the health and safety of everyone. In the case of cybersecurity, the action of any employee can compromise security for the entire organization. Technical fixes cannot remove vulnerabilities inherent to the workforce itself, including social engineering, poor credential management, the use of insecure or poorly configured devices or applications. Let's first watch a video about social engineering. It is important to understand that through awareness training, employees should learn basic security practice.
So I invited a few of the world's best hackers to try to hack me and show me where my vulnerabilities are. And now I'm going to meet them in Las Vegas for DEF CON, the biggest hacker convention of the year. They're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Who are you going to call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider and
Okay.
see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm going to spoof from your number, so it's going to look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. My husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for uses information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
At gmail.com?
Jessica gets access to my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account.
Jess uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry, so there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yeah.
So what we learned from the previous video is that employees have discretion when it comes to handling the organization's IT assets. So that's why human resource security is so important. Security problems caused by employees can fall into two categories: non-malicious and malicious. Some individuals unwittingly aid in the commission of security incidents by failing to follow proper procedure, by forgetting security considerations, or by not understanding what they were doing. If an organization does not have an effective awareness training program, a problem could occur because an employee was never told what constitutes proper procedure in terms of security. Such behavior does not involve a motive to cause harm. It may be either accidental, where there is no decision to act improperly, or it might be negligent when there is a conscious decision to act improperly. An example of the latter case is when someone takes a shortcut or to increase productivity, or simply to avoid hassle. However, the individual might feel that like he or she can do that without causing a security incident. Another category is malicious activities, when employees knowingly violate controls and procedures to cause or aiding security incidents. The security problems caused by such persons can exceed those caused by outsiders. It is because employees with privileged access are the ones who know the controls and know what information of value might be present. First of all, we will introduce security in the hiring process. The Code of Practice for Information Security Controls lists the security objectives of the hiring process to ensure that employees and contractors understand their responsibilities and are suitable for the roles for which they are considered. Despite the obstacles, employers must make a significant effort to do background checks and screen applicants. Of course, such checks are done to ensure that the prospective employees are competent to perform the intended jobs and pose no threat to security. In addition, employers need to be cognizant of the concept of negligent hiring that applies in some jurisdictions. In essence, an employer may be held liable for negligent hiring if an employee causes harm to a third party. As part of their contractual obligation, employees should agree and sign the terms of condition of their employment contracts as well as the organization's responsibilities for information security. The agreement should include a confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement that spells out specifically that the organization's information assets are confidential, as well as the employees must protect the confidentiality. The Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council suggests that job descriptions should be designed to increase accountability for security. Management need to communicate general and specific security roles and responsibilities for all employees within their job descriptions. A key aspect of clarifying security responsibilities in a particular job description is to specify the cybersecurity tasks. The Cybersecurity Workforce Handbook lists tasks that must be performed by everyone in the enterprise, with additional tasks assigned to those with increased responsibility for data and systems. This diagram here on the slides illustrates job positions and security responsibilities attached to a particular job. As job positions move to higher levels, the cybersecurity responsibilities and expertise increase, and additional tasks that an individual needs to perform also increase. Next, we'll talk about security management during employment. The ISO 27000 series lists security objectives with respect to current employees to ensure that employees and contractors are aware of and fulfill their information security responsibilities. Specifically, employees and contractors should be aware of information security threats and concerns and their responsibility and liabilities with regard to information security. They should also be equipped to support organizational security policy in the course of their normal work. There are two essential elements of personnel security during employment. The first element is comprehensive security policy and acceptable use documents. And the second element is an ongoing awareness and training program for all employees. In addition to enforcing the security policy in a fair and consistent manner, there are certain principles that need to be followed for personnel security. First, give each person the minimum access necessary to do his or her job. There should be restrictions in terms of both logical and physical access. If every user has accounts on every system and has physical access to everything, then all users are roughly equivalent in their level of threat. Second, carefully separate duties so that people involved in checking for inappropriate use are not also capable of perpetrating such inappropriate use. For example, one individual should not have overlapping security access and audit responsibilities. In such case, the individual can violate security policy and cover up any audit trail that would reveal the violation. Third, limit reliance on key employees. It is unavoidable that some employees are key to the operation of an organization. This may create risk to the organization. Therefore, it should have written policies and plans established for unexpected illness or departure. As with systems, redundancy should be built into the employee structure. There should be no single employee with unique knowledge or skills. Fourth of all, consider to have a dual operator policy. In some cases, it may be possible to define specific tasks that require two people. A similar policy is two-person control, which requires that two employees approve each other's work. Finally, implement mandatory vacations. Mandatory vacation policy help expose employees involved in malicious activity, such as fraud or embezzlement. Lastly, we'll introduce the security management during termination of employment. The ISO 27000 series lists several security objectives with respect to termination of employment, to protect the organization's interests as part of the process of changing or terminating employment. The termination process is complex and depends on the nature of the organization, the status of the employee in the organization, and the reason for departure. From the security point of view, the following bullet points on the slide is listed as actions that should be taken for the organization.